Welcome to Bike BrewHouse right here in Austin Town. Larry Wilson is with me, and it's really cool to meet creative people that kind of follow their passion and things like that. And Larry's done that. Thanks for joining us today. It's so
Thanks
cool.
for having us.
Yeah, let's talk about the old place. If you're not familiar, there was a bar in the Harley-Davidson dealership in Austin Town, right?
Yes.
And you had a lot to do with that.
Yes.
You were working as a Harley-Davidson salesperson, right?
That's correct.
Are you still doing that?
I still am. Yes.
Yeah.
On the side. Yeah.
So tell me how the bar got started over there first.
Okay. So it's a long story.
Yeah.
But we'll get
You'll
there.
Put a nugget to it.
So in 2014, I relocated to the area. Mm-hmm. Right. Started brewing beer. And I'd bring it in for the guys to be guinea pigs, and they said, "Man, you should look into selling this." So looking into selling it I needed a commercial address. Mm-hmm. So at that same time, the owner was looking for us to build, myself, because of the building background, to build a lounge for the customers with no alcohol in mind. Mm-hmm. So with that, the alcohol kind of came and said, "Hey, he's making good beer, he needs a commercial address."
Right.
He was so leading edge on, let's put it in there, because we are the only one in the nation that actually has a microbrewery inside the dealership.
Isn't that crazy?
It is.
Yeah. Now, what do the bikers say, or what do people say when they come in and they see the bar and things like that, even if one was in the old place?
They absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it. Every biker that comes from out of town, because we've had bikers from coast to coast come in and say, "Why can't my dealership have this?"
I believe that. And then fast forward to when you decided we need to expand, we need to get a place like this.
Okay, so the demand was really starting to grow, and we had to look at making more beer. And as small as the old place was, we couldn't really expand to meet the demand of our product. So we started looking at other avenues. Do we move it out of here? Do we keep a location here? Do we put in a production facility somewhere else? Mm-hmm. Through the course of talks with the ownership here at the dealership, we all know that moving forward, that the supply of new vehicles is very low right now. And this used to be the big used bike showroom back here.
Really?
Yeah. And we had so little inventory that this became a huge warehouse to just stack stuff in. Right? So what ended up happening was they said, "Why don't you take over the back area, the used bike showroom?" Mm-hmm. Right? And at that point, we'll go ahead and move you in here, and we'll take back over the old space so you can have your expansion. So we went from 1,500 square feet to 3,500.
Yeah, it triples.
Yeah.
Triples like that. So then you have the chance to build your own bar again.
Yeah.
And do all the woodwork and things like that, which is his passion. He was a home builder for years, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
How cool was that?
That was awesome.
Blank slate, right?
Blank slate, yep. Yeah, that was awesome. We, my brewer and myself, and my middle son, who is an Army veteran, actually had some time off. He relocated to the area as well. Us three pretty much put this thing together in about 30 days.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all it took?
That's all it took.
And then it opened in June, end of June.
End of June, June 30th.
What was the response like?
The response was overwhelming. That Friday, we had the dueling pianos in here, and you could not move. It was packed. That's what we want.
Yeah,
that's right.
No kidding. Tell me, I want to get to the beers in a second because they're out here, but tell me about the space back there, because you are brewing upstairs currently.
Correct.
And now you're going to be back in this spot, right?
Yes, correct. Okay. So currently we have production of about 26 barrels of beer, which is 31 gallons in a barrel at one time. That's what we have currently. When we move into the new area, which is over here, we're actually going to have 75 barrels of beer in production at one time.
And you'll be able to watch it being done, right?
Yes, yeah. As you see it right now, that's all open. That will remain open. You'll be able to see everything that happens.
That is so neat. All right, so how many different beer recipes do you have?
We have right now on the books about 30. We currently run 12 flavors at one time. Mm-hmm.
And you put down a few favorites for us?
Yeah, put down some favorites. So.
All right, let's start right here. Which one is this?
So this is Blue Balls. Okay. That's our blueberry blonde.
Of course
it is a unique name. That one of my first bartenders, she says, "Let me name that beer," because
it's a female.
It's a female. Mm-hmm. Yep. She says, "Can I name that beer?" because I called it Blueberry Blonde. And she goes, that's not fun.
Yeah.
And she goes, I don't know if you're gonna like it. And I said, well, shoot it. She goes, blue balls. And I said, you know what? That is a conversation piece.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you, at the end of the day, that is probably the #1 seller out there on the open market because it creates conversation.
I believe that. Tell me about the stout.
So the stout is a collaboration with High Octane Coffee over in Boardman. Joe came to me one day and said, hey, you wanna use my coffee in the beer production? And I said, well, let's bring some samples. So we ended up taking his Black Flag cold brew and injected it into a base stout recipe, and now it's High Octane Coffee Stout. It's a 6%. It's like drinking 6% cold brew black coffee.
How cool. And how about this one on my left, your right?
That one right there is our everyday drinker. It's Ball Bearing Blonde. That beer was developed for the Bud Light and the Miller Lite drinker.
Okay.
Because
there
when I
are
first
a million
opened,
people that say, I don't want that stuff, just give me a Bud Light.
Right. They're like, listen, I don't like craft beer. Why don't you like craft beer? Because it's too bitter. I said, well, just peas me. So they taste it and they're like, oh my God, this is, I said, it's all how you brew it.
Yeah.
Right? So that beer really is brewed for the masses because being in a Harley-Davidson dealership, let's face it, those guys drink a lot of macro beers.
What, do you have anything else in the lab you're whipping up right now? Or do beers change in the fall? Do you have something coming up?
Yes, we do. In fact, the newest that's going to come out is American Pie. It is an absolute crowd favorite. It's an apple pie ale.
I was going to ask you, pumpkin pie or apple pie? I wasn't
apple
sure.
pie, apple pie ale.
Yep.
It's coming out.
How fun.
Yeah.
All right, the hours here at Biker BrewHouse are different than the Harley dealership, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so give them to us.
Wednesday, Thursday, we're open noon to 8 p.m.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, noon to 10 p.m.
Okay.
Sunday is noon to 6. Soon to be changing because, it's football season.
Yeah.
So Sundays we are
games all the time.
We are Browns here, and since the area we're in, Browns and Steelers are all welcome. So it'll probably be later depending on what time the games are.
2 more questions. Can you eat here too?
Yes. Yeah, we opened up a food trailer. I bought it last July. Opened it up in September. You can come in, sit down. We'll serve you food. You don't even have to go to our food truck.
And I didn't get to ask you about the entertainment over here, the pinball machines and the video games and stuff.
Yeah, the pinball machines are brought to us by a Pirate's Life pinball.
Okay.
Keith is an awesome gentleman. He brings us in these pinballs. People absolutely love them. He's trying to find the old style pinballs for this market, right? Most breweries, newest, latest, greatest stuff because it's a younger crowd. We tend to draw an older crowd here that absolutely love the vintage games.
And I don't have to be a biker to come. Can I just pull up in my car and come?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, listen, 60% of our clientele never, ever would have set foot in this dealership.
There you have it. Biker BrewHouse right here in the Harley-Davidson dealership in Austintown, not too far from Quaker Steak and Lube and Cracker Barrel. And as you said, you could eat in, you can have a drink, you can go outside on the patio too. Larry, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job and continued success, okay?
Thank you.
All right.